Hi, dear ladies and gentlemen. I'm really glad to welcome you at our Biotech and Neuroscience Unicorn Battle. My name is Lydia, and I'm host for the incredible event today. And now, let me introduce you to our wonderful colleague, Anna Fedorova. She is the CEO of Unicorn.Events. Please, Anna, it's my pleasure to pass the floor to you.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you and welcome everyone. You are at the Unicorn.Events, the world's largest startup pitch contest. And boy, am I glad to see everyone today. Only the best startups will be pitching live, great investors within a reach. You are at Unicorn.Events. Welcome everyone. This season, we are doing industry-focused battles, only the most popular industries this time, everything you like. But before we start, I would like to say thanks to our main sponsors, Network VC, our platinum sponsor. Thank you very much. Network VC, the management company of our global ecosystem and main center of our venture activities. And you can explore amazing opportunities if you want to do venture business. Consider Network VC as your venture partner. Please scan this QR code for the details. Thank you to our golden sponsor, Silicon Valley Syndicate Club, accredited investor. This message is for you if you want to invest into the startups that win our unicorn battles. Together with other VCs and business angels, scan this QR code or go to our event page and join us to participate in great deals. And our silver sponsor, Startup Inc., an investor onboarding and management platform to get an access to exclusive deals worldwide. So about this season, we are doing everything you like. AI, software, AR, VR, you had already seen. Today, we are for the Biotech and Neuroscience. And we are going next Thursday for FinTech, crypto, and all that stuff around money. And then we're gonna have the World Finals. So we are just rocketing towards our World Finals. And you are at the semifinals today. We are scanning the whole planet to bring you extraordinary innovations from all over the world. And we started doing in-person events already in the Silicon Valley. They are invitation only for top VCs and only prominent startups. And the winner of the today's Unicorn Battle will also have an opportunity to pitch in Silicon Valley, which is really great because startups know when you hold the hand of the VC, it's totally different connection. So I'm really glad to share this exciting opportunity with you. And a little bit about us, in case you don't know. I don't believe that you don't know, but it's worth hearing again that Unicorn.Events is an open competition where successful startup pitch for private investors, corporations, and venture funds. We are the world's largest startup pitch competition by the geography and the number of the events held already. We shed the light on the best startups since 2009 and have done more than 300 events everywhere, even in Antarctica with penguins. It was really great event. I really enjoyed it. So join us to see best solutions and meet great personalities. We are proud to be leading a great community of prominent startups, VCs, and business angels. And we don't stand in the middle and just love when investors find great deals right here. So look at our impressive numbers. We only ask everyone to remember about us when you have found a great deal, if you're an investor, or when you have found a great VC, if you're a startup, because we would like to follow and not leave. So just shoot us the note and we will join you in this wonderful journey. And one of our unfair advantages that makes us very successful is our partner network. We have partners everywhere. We do events with them. And right now we have a new program on the budget share basis with the partners. So please contact me. Here is my LinkedIn, or scan this QR code and we will talk about it some more. It's really exciting opportunity. If you're leading a startup or VC community, we would love to see you as a part of our international family of our partners. And our partners network is covering the whole world, and we are waiting just for you to join it. So welcome once again to Biotech and Neuroscience Unicorn Battle, where startups that are about to become unicorns are pitching. And I'm glad to introduce our event manager, Lydia, who had selected all those wonderful guys and girls who will be pitching today. Lydia, are you proud of what you have done already?
Sure. I'm looking forward to see all our startups today. But first, we are extremely glad to welcome our investors today that represent R3Y Ventures, The Charge Innovations, Drummond Ventures, Urano Capital, Idea Capital Ventures, Lighthouse Ventures, Ash7 Biocapital, Men's International, SIF, GSD Venture Studios, Reciprocity Roy, Ripple VC, Malamute Startups Agency, Expert Dojo, SY Venture Group, Sartorian Ventures, Fashion Union, Municra Ventures, Portfolio Operating Partners, and UK Pro Health Hub. Thank you so much. And also meet our reliable media partners who have provided significant support in the preparation of the Unicorn Battle today. So special thanks for ITK Media, The Symes, Expert Dojo, Reciprocity Royal. Dear all, feel free to check our website where you can find all information about our media partners, about them by clicking the logos. So, dear partners, thank you so much for your support today. And if you want to join the list of our media partners, please contact me directly, and I will be so happy to discuss our partnership with you. And I guess it's time to introduce you to our official judges who volunteer the available time today. Anna, could you please help me?
With pleasure, Lydia. Yes, it's my honor to introduce you to the official judges, the group that will be selecting who will be the winner today. We have different groups of judges who will be voting, evaluating startup investment potential. Business angels, expert board, and official judges. Official judges represent some big entity, a country or a community, not only the VC company or the accelerator they are leading. And I would love to start with our great friend for many years, and we are welcome her again. Dr. Ella Lee, founder and CEO of H7 Biocapital. Hello, Ella. Looks like you will be hiring for some biotech and neuroscience startups today.
Yes, hello everyone, and hi Anna, so great to see you again. So my name is Ella Lee. I'm the founder and the CEO of H7 Biocapital. So we are focusing in the early stage healthcare, biotech, life science device company investing. So in addition to the investing arm, we also run a 3-month-long accelerator program online. And so actually now we are recruiting the applicants. The deadline is May 20th. So it's really a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you, Ella. Enjoy it. And please welcome Partner and CEO at Network VC. Our main sponsor of the event, Alexander Soroka, who is leading the international community of startups and investors that we have been collecting for many years. Alexander, so glad to see you.
Hello, and hello, everybody. Glad to be here today, and glad to see Ella, because we are now investing in one of graduates of her accelerator. So we invest in biotech. We have several startups already in our portfolio. We even already exited from one, from Volumetric. It was a very successful exit in the past. And our fund usually invests in late seed round A stages. We are industry agnostic, but we don't like to invest in hardware too much. We are geographically agnostic. We have some investments in Latin America, Middle East, Asia, Europe, but we prefer to invest in US mostly. So 90% and more of our portfolio are in the United States. And today we invest like 2 startups monthly. So we are actively looking for startups. And if you have startups and you are investing, we'll be glad to co-invest with you. So tell us about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander, for such a wonderful presentation. And I'm moving to Canada. Kelly Luo, founder and investor at Mans International. Hello, Kelly.
Hello, Anna. Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly Luo, founder and investor of Mans International based in Toronto, Canada. I'm thrilled to be here today. Thank you, Anna, Alex, Lydia, for having me. We specialize in helping B2B tech companies scale across North America and Asia. Our average check size is up to $1 million. Some of our recent investments have been in cutting-edge technologies such as millimeter wave 4D imaging for tracking system and robotics for seniors. So I look forward to seeing some of the innovative ideas from all the participants. I wish everyone the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly, so much. And I'm moving to John Kohiro Moriwaka, Director of Startup Grind Fukuoka, Japan. John, so nice to see you so late at night in Japan.
Thank you, Anna and Alex, Lydia, for inviting me again. My name is John Kojiro Moriwaka, aka Crazy John. So it's 1 a.m. in Japan, and it's I'm still awake and very happy to meet all of you. So I represent Startup Grind Fukuoka and also Startup Grind Nagoya. And tonight, actually, I became appointed to be a Startup Grind Tokyo chapter director. So I'm running 3 chapters in Japan. And I also represent several funds from Luxembourg, R3 Ventures, Arca Ventures Labs, India and Silicon Valley, and a few others. And my family business is selling medical devices in Japan. So my personal interest is also medical device, biotech. So best luck all of you today. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, John. And I'm welcoming Gabriel Zanco from Colombia. Gabriel is a venture partner at Urana Capital and representing that fund. Hello, Gabriel.
Thank you, Anna, Lydia, always every week seeing you. And as I always say, the Unicorn family, no? The Unicorn family. So very glad to be here. Yeah, based in Colombia, between Colombia and Switzerland. And the last 6-7 years, I've been advising and investing in tech. On one side with one business, which is called Live, which is the investment banking incubator side of things. And as you say, Urano Capital, aiming to be leading investor in deep tech, intersecting DeFi and sustainability angles. And we're going through a lot of updates on Urano and also brands. So I will inform when appropriate, and happy to be here. Good luck to all startups. Yeah.
Thank you, Gabriel, so much. And I am moving to the next page of our official judges. We have many of them today. They'll be joining as we go on, but we already have Omar Abidin from Pakistan. Omar is the head of VC investments at TMT Ventures. So nice to see you again, Omar.
Hey guys, good evening. I can't complain about how late it is in Pakistan because our friend Crazy John is, the furthest east of all of us. So
he outperformed you.
I don't think he sleeps. I think he sleeps even less than I do. So way to go, John. It's great to be back, and I'm keeping my camera off today because we are having internet issues in Pakistan due to some of the political situation. I don't know if you guys have heard, but we're facing some weird political challenges. So the internet is a little bit dodgy today. So if I drop off, I'll try and reconnect as soon as possible. Okay, so bear with me today. Thank you guys, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot today. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. Hang on with us. We will try to keep you as long as possible. And please welcome Nurul Khai from Bangladesh. Nurul is a vice president at SEAF. Hello, Nurul.
Hi, Anna. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you, all of you again. I'm the vice president of SEAF. It's a global emerging market private equity investor. So recently, we are also focusing very much on the Caribbean and on the African countries, apart from Asia. I cover mainly Asia, Bangladesh, and some of the South Asian countries. So we see tremendous growth potential here in this region. And I wish all the participants all the best today, especially Biotech and the Neuroscience section, which is very interesting, I guess. So let's see. Thank you.
Yes, agree with you, Nurul. Enjoy. And we have the category of judges. I remind you that everybody will be voting separately, but we combine the vote as a group. And then we combine votes of each group and have aggregated vote that will point out who the winner is. But this category of judges is also very important. They'll be voting for the investment potential of our startups that will be pitching. So dear judges, please introduce yourself. Point out what industry you invest in, what's your check size, what geography if relevant. And Gary, I'm so glad to see you. Hello.
It's good to see you here one more time for Family Hour. I love it. My name's Gary Fowler. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've been involved in 17 startups and several unicorns. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which we sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai. I'm the CEO, president, and founder of GSD Venture Studios. We have a super scaler called GSD Labs. We have 133 companies in our portfolio today from 57 countries. Our companies have raised up to $30 million. I'm also an investor through my family office into our companies. We love generative AI. In fact, my book was released today. I've been working on since 2020 on generative AI models. So love that stuff. And we are deeply involved in medtech. We've got companies in molecular isolation of iodine, remote patient monitoring, a MedMatch network with its neurosurgeon from Yale. So we love this stuff. Let's make the world a better place. Thank you.
Yes, totally agree with you. Let's do it and do it together. Dear judges, please speak up. Startups want to hear how much and who you invest in. It will be a great help. If not, we can move on our agenda. Last call for the judges.
I think I can introduce myself. Just send myself on a list.
Yes, yeah, you could raise a hand and I will give you a floor. You can just jump in. Yes, if it's easier,
Perfect,
go ahead.
perfect. My name is Helena Vasilevska. I'm with Unicorn.Ventures, the venture capital arm of Unicorn, and I'm covering cybersecurity and healthcare, and happy to talk to digital health companies. We are seed to Series B investor. Yeah, happy to chat.
Wonderful. Welcome. And Osai, yes, the floor is yours.
Right. Hello, everyone. I'm turning on my video here. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me here. I'm Osai Adrianicaro, founder, manager, partner of Ripple VC, where we make seed investments in companies out of Africa that are disruptive technology leaders. So think biotech, hence here, and space, and applied quantum machine learning. Really happy to, really looking forward to listening to the pitches today, and I wish everyone participating the best of luck.
Thank you, Osai, so much. And
Check
Paul?
sizes of 100 million.
Sorry. Yeah, we heard that. Thank you. And Paul? Yes, go
Hi,
ahead.
everyone. Glad to be here today. My name is Paul Claxton. I'm an AI venture capitalist. I run a firm called Q1 Velocity. We invest in US-based AI companies that are building products and services that have applicability for IoT and SaaS sectors. Our average check size is between 200K up to 1 million. We invest in pre-seed and seed stage companies. We give a first look to veteran founders and minority or gender diverse teams. Our approach is more of kind of a hybrid venture studio model, where I also run a technology accelerator called Startup ROI. And our approach is, in that venture studio model, our approach is being on the field with the founders, providing them every operational resource that they could possibly need, not just investing capital, because we truly do want to see those startups be successful and grow and scale to new levels. If you need to connect with me, please do so via my personal CV site, paulclaxton.io. You can connect to my LinkedIn. You can find that on my CV site and connect to my LinkedIn as well.
Thank you, Paul. You're also welcome to share your details in chat. It's also be very useful. And dear judges, anyone else would love to speak up? I guess not. Lydia, back to you. Let's rock and roll.
Thank you, Anna. Dear official judges, expert board, thank you so much for your introduction yourself and your founds. And now let me explain about our voting system today. So how does it work? To start voting, please find your personal voting link by your email and make sure that you are logged in under your profile and see the numbers below the startups from 1 till 10. 1 is the lowest mark and 10 is the highest. Please scroll the bar to put marks to our startups. Also, please evaluate each startups and no confirmation button is needed. If you need any help, please contact our amazing Zoom support team in the Zoom chat. And moment has come. We have 9 amazing startups today from all over the world. Each founder will have 3 minutes for pitch and 3 minutes for Q&A session. Dear startups, I want to mention that we recommend not to mention any fundraising out loud, so please use our Zoom chat or other channels of communication in this regard. Thank you so much. So let's welcome the most inspiring startups today. And the first startup that opens our pitch competition is Sonogen Medical from the USA. And please welcome Jason, who will be represented. Jason, I really want to pass the floor to you.
Thank you. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen right now. And there we go. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jason Winder. I am the CEO of Sonogen Medical. I'm here to talk to you today about our next generation bone fracture healing device. So it's likely not going to come as a massive shock to anyone that Americans are a pretty unhealthy bunch. We have poor diet and exercise and a series of chronic illnesses, diabetes, we smoke, we're overweight. It all leads to poor vascularity, and poor vascularity means poor healing. That also includes bone fracture healing. There are more than 500,000 people a year that end up with delayed and non-union fractures. These are fractures that just aren't healing on their own. And those patients are headed for expensive and risky surgeries, which everybody wants to avoid. The doctor wants to avoid them, the payers want to avoid them, and the patients certainly want to avoid them. Now, unfortunately, the devices that are currently on the market to try to help patients heal from delayed and non-union fractures are just lackluster. First of all, you can't tell if they're working. They work poorly. Some of them you have to use for up to 10 to 24 hours per day. And some of the technology in use is more than 150 years old. Now, this is a $1.4 billion market that really is just not meeting the needs of the patients. Introducing Sonogen, we have a next generation fracture healing device based on safe and effective ultrasound. We've shown in initial animal trials that we heal 30% faster than anything on the market today. That alone is poised to save patients up to $1 billion a year in recovered wages. But we're also going to save payers up to $12 billion a year in avoided surgeries through a device that's specifically designed for improved compliance, including a capability to detect whether or not the fracture is actually healing on schedule. We also have a fully web-enabled, telehealth-enabled device poised to make orthopedists up to $50 million a year in telehealth fees. Now, we have a full set of intellectual property, including currently 3 and soon to be 4 worldwide PCT filings with initial national filings in 5 key regions. The engineering prototype we used for our proof of concept trial is already moving towards clinical and commercial prototype status. We're about 30% of the way through that process, although we do intend to keep our fracture healing assessment capability confidential. We have a fantastic management team with extensive experience in the space, and we bolster those capabilities with a business advisory board helping us with strategy, marketing and sales, regulatory, and legal, as well as a world-class medical advisory board representing some of the best institutions on the planet, Harvard, Johns Hopkins, University of Penn Medicine, with a massive, ultimately $3.6 billion market for therapeutics and diagnostics and several side markets for spinal fusion healing and bone quality assessment. Which brings us to the ask. We're raising $2.5 million for an 18-month program to get to FDA approval. Appreciate your time. And I'll answer questions.
Thank you so much, Jason. And yes, we already have a question from Kelly Luo, please.
Thank you, Lydia. Hi, Jason. Nice presentation. So how do you improve results? As we know that ultrasound waves have a limited penetration depth and its effectiveness varies.
So it's all about the ISATA at the skin, the power level at the skin, and with diagnostic ultrasound, really the key to our device here is that we're actually hitting the bone fracture at a bit of an angle and generating an ultrasound wave that's very high in shear wave content. It's that specific innovation which appears to have a massive benefit to fracture healing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. And please, Ella Lee.
Yeah, so can you talk more about the proof concept you mentioned and how is that compared to, for instance, benchmark company Exogen technology-wise and also the results-wise?
Sure. We actually tested our device against the Bioventus Exogen device. So it was a rabbit trial where we induced bilateral fibular osteotomies and tested the healing process with our device and the Exogen device, one on each paw of the same rabbit. We tested in 17 animals, and ultimately our results were analyzed by the Mayo Clinic's biotechnology lab. And we showed that our bones were in a 30% stronger healed state than the bones from the Exogen device over the same treatment period.
So how technology-wise, how are you different from them?
A few minor differences. We're actually still substantially equivalent as far as the American FDA is concerned. However, we have our signal is dropped down. They're at a 1.5 megahertz. We're at 1 megahertz. Power levels are a little bit higher, but not meaningfully so. The real key difference is that we are delivering an acoustic signal that's very rich in shear wave content, whereas the ultrasound signal delivered by the Exogen device is almost entirely longitudinal in nature. We actually believe that when the Exogen signal hits the bone, that there's a small amount of that signal that gets refracted into shear waves that we believe is actually what's doing the healing. We think that, and we've shown that and there's plenty of research to show that shear wave content is likely the key to osteogenesis.
Thank you so much. And please, we still have 30 seconds from question from Nurul.
Yeah, so part of my question was answered, like how your technology is different. So on the detail of that question, what sort of algorithm you are using that you are getting more signal than the traditional competitors?
I'm sorry, what was your question? I didn't hear the word there. What am I using?
I was thinking about your technology. The same question actually Dr. Ella asked, how your technology is different from the competitors. So you said that it is 30% more efficient in terms of getting signals from the bones. So are you using some sort of efficient algorithms or something? Can you elaborate on this?
No, our signal healed actually delivered 30% better results, healing results in the animals than the Exogen device. The differences in our signal are, as I stated, it's a mostly shear wave acoustic signal that comes in at a lower frequency and ultimately specifically designed for fracture healing.
All right. And regarding the patents, how soon you are expecting to get the patents done? Timeline?
We expect the first of the 4 patents to be granted this year, and we are working on national filings, funds permitting, for the remaining 3 patents as we speak.
Right. Okay.
Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you so much, Nurul, for your questions. And you did a great job. And now, please welcome our next participant, startup number 2, Illumify DX from the USA. And please welcome founder Maria.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Maria Navas Moreno, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Illumify DX. I've spent the better part of the last 20 years developing tools to screen and diagnose cancer using optics. I'm also a second-time founder and CEO, and Randy, my co-founder and scientific chief officer, is an associate professor at the University of California, Davis. His area of expertise are these little tiny vesicles that are secreted by tumors into the blood and saliva and carry a lot of information about cancer. And so that brings me to the problem that we are trying to solve, and is that of cancer detection. So as we know, cancer is a big problem. 39% of us will develop cancer in our lifetime, and it's not getting better as we, as a population, are aging very quickly. The problem with detection is that there are existing solutions for only a handful of cancers, and those solutions that exist are not scalable. So of course, detecting cancer early will be good for everybody, right? And liquid biopsy has been proven to be a more practical way to collect the data of the status of the patient's health. Basically, what we have is that the tumor secretes all sorts of molecules that then make it to the saliva, blood, or urine. And here is where our technology comes in. We collect those samples. There is minimal sample processing of the sample. And then we collect the chemical information through this technology that is called optical spectroscopy. Then what we do is we use artificial intelligence or machine learning to tell apart whether to classify samples as whether there is cancer present in the patient. And the whole our whole workflow from sample to report takes less than 60 minutes. We are currently working on implementing a send-out lab service model where the health provider orders the test, the samples are collected at the local hospital laboratory and sent out to our centralized lab where we analyze them, and then the results are sent out back to the provider. We are a platform solution, and it can be applied throughout the whole cancer care continuum, but because of various reasons, we've decided to focus initially on monitoring recurrence of cancer. And specifically, we are focused on detecting recurrence for head and neck cancer. So here, we are assuming that we are going to add the tests on the current standard of care. So that's 2 or 3 tests per year. And then based on our benchmark analysis, based on different reimbursement codes here in the US and different market pricing of other tests that are available, and the number of cancer survivors that are in the US, these are our estimated markets for overall cancer survivors. And here to the right, you can see the head and neck cancer survivors market is about $500 million. The competition, of course, there are many tests, of course, the standard of care, which results in about more than 60% of cancers being detected very late. All the next generation sequencing and all the new technologies, which are not approved for screening at the moment. And then there are other tests that are very niche and are not widely adopted. We are in the process of, and this is where we are asking for, a pre-revenue, of course, but we are asking for the funds to set up our certified lab, which is on their way at the University of California, Davis, to then launch our initial lab developed test direct to patients, and in parallel work to our first submission to FDA. And I won't, I won't go into the details, but this is a long-term growth strategy, and I'm happy to take questions now.
Thank you so much, Maria. And we already have a question from Gabriel, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, one quick question. I mean, you mentioned now you're only focusing on head and neck cancer, right? And then how accurate is your technology? I mean, what percentage of mistake you have on detecting the potential cancer, no? Or yeah, I see here, right?
Yeah. So, okay. And this is all published results. These are the results on our latest validation set. So our results are outstanding for early detection of cancer. And we use, for head and neck cancer, we use saliva and blood. So the combination of those two samples is what gave us these outstanding results.
Got it. And why not the other type of cancers right now, or how long is more complex to detect the other ones? Just curious.
No, it's all about the impact. So we've done analysis of about the impact that we can bring, so we can actually build that trust within the medical community. And so because head and neck is one of those laggards in terms of detection, we can actually, we believe that that is one of those that, we can actually move the whole care to earlier and provide a better impact on patients.
All right. Thank you so much. Good luck. Yeah.
Thank you, Gabriel. And please, question from Osai.
Hi, thanks for that, Maria. How do you compare to other liquid biopsy companies out there?
In terms of what?
In terms of performance.
So for early detection, we outperform all other liquid biopsy tests that we know of in head and neck cancer. We haven't tested other types of cancers, so because we are focused on head and neck. But as far as we know, we outperform every other liquid biopsy test.
Who are some of the, give us maybe a couple of names, some of the leaders in the head and neck cancer space?
Unfortunately, there aren't many people looking at head and neck cancer. There are some tests, for example, looking at viral load, but those are limited to only the virally derived cancers. So that would be like the Naveris test. There are other tests that do multi-cancer detection, like, for example, the Galleri test from Grail. They are also looking, among all the cancers that they look at head and neck cancer, but there is no specific company. There is a new company that is looking at head and neck cancers, but I'm not aware of the results so far from them.
Thank you, Osai. And please, Ella.
Yes, so two questions. First is focusing on this, actually it's exactly this slide regarding your accuracy study. So can you describe how the study is done? For instance, what sample you use, how many samples involved, and also what is your control group? That's the first question. Second question is, can you quickly talk about your market channel, market strategy?
Sure. So the samples that we have are saliva, blood. We do right now, the cohort that this is based on is about 80 patients, and our controls are patients. So what we have is all people that are undergoing surgery, and we don't know if they have cancer or not until they come out of surgery. And so our controls are people that have symptoms. They are patient controls. They are not healthy controls. And after that is that we know the results of whether they have cancer or not, and we compare against histopathology. That's how we are. That's how we know our gold standard is histopathology. In terms of channels, so right now we are setting a lab under the CLIA lab of UC Davis Health System. And so that's how we are planning to launch our first lab developed test. To be quite honest, what we are looking at now is bigger partnerships, like looking at the LabQuest or the Quest Diagnostics of the world to help us, for lab distribution. But I think that will be in a couple of years when we have FDA certification and we can actually have more than one lab. Because at this point, as an LDT, you can only have one lab.
Maria, thank you so much. Ella, thank you for your questions. And you did a great job, but we need to move to our next participant, startup number 3, AMK2 Biotechnologies from Germany. And please welcome Konstantinos.
Yep. Hi, everybody. I should be seeing my slides now, right?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Costa from MK2 Biotechnologies, and our purpose to enable peptides and proteins for mouse applications. Now, probably most of you know what peptides and proteins are, so very quick intro. We're talking about amino acid chains, the shorter ones you would call them a peptide, and the larger ones you will call them a protein. And then the larger they become, the would be enzymes or antibodies. And we focus in particular at the interface between chemistry and biology. So the longer peptides, or you would also call them small proteins. And why do we do that? What's the point? What's the problem with them? And the problem is here that those product classes are not available for mass applications for cost reasons. And there are two approaches that to produce those bioactive products, either using chemical solid phase synthesis or using biotechnological or recombinant approaches via fermentation. Both cases, the upstream process of production is actually not too difficult, but you have to couple them with very expensive purification processes that in most of the cases lead to unbearable ranges, in particular for non-pharma applications. And what is it that we do? So we couple conventional fermentation processes with an innovative purification process, and by that, we enable a massive competitive advantage. How do we do that? Let's look at conventional downstream processes. So you start after expression with an unpurified protein. You have to go through several chromatographic steps and end up with a low-yielding process. And the characteristics of that approach is really a low throughput process, lack of scalability, expensive materials are used here, and often toxic components are involved as well and need to be removed. And of course, they're not sustainable from the wastewater point of view. What is it that we do? We have a proprietary technology that's based on a fusion protein. However, that approach allows us working solidly in stirred tanks, water-based medium using filtration tools only, which then gives us a high yielding process. It's a high throughput process because we have no process bottleneck inside anymore. It's fully scalable. It does not require any expensive or toxic components at all. And by that, we achieve a massive competitive advantage, which sums up to, depending on the production scale, we're talking about an advantage of 3 to 5 orders of magnitude. So not a factor of 3 to 5, but really orders of magnitude. Now, how do we position ourselves? We position ourselves in the intermediate range, as I mentioned earlier, because we have very successful companies with very small peptides, and also the enzymes and antibody area is well covered. However, that intermediate length range is very much uncovered. You can get the proteins, but mainly for R&D purposes. But we see ourselves here as the first ones to fill that gap, and to enable peptides and proteins for mass applications. And if I'm saying mass applications, I'm talking about food, I'm talking about agri-tech, I'm talking about cosmetics, animal health, but of course also human health. And then we'll just rush through the roadmap where we are. So we reached a pilot scale in 2022, did the tech transfer, so we're already in steel scale, and plan to do within the context of our Series A to go to the market in the next 3 years, and also achieve a demo scale, so succeed with at least kilogram batches. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention. I'm looking forward to your questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Konstantinos, for your time. And please, judges, it's time to you for your questions. Yeah, Alexander, please.
Have you raised some money already?
Yes, we have had a seed round in 2021.
And how much?
So it's not disclosed, but in total, including the grants that we got in the past, we have already raised around about 4.5 million.
4.5 million.
Yes, including all the grants that we had in the past.
Did you have any VCs in the round in previous round?
Yes. So the seed round was VCs and business angels.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander. Please, Kelly.
Hi, thank you for your explanation. So my question is, can you explain a little bit about your cost compared with other competitions in terms of raw materials, your process, equipment, and labor?
Yeah, so typically when you have a chromatography-based approach, it's a very slow approach that requires a lot of CapEx, and the resins that you use inside the chromatography are very expensive as well. So both the processing and the material costs are very high, because of us having neither resin costs nor additional enzymes that are often used, nor do we have an expensive process step, because everything is really high throughput. It just pumps volumes from left to right, and you just through a filter, and we steer the things. And by that, we can reduce really the whole, both material but also processing cost, as I mentioned earlier, by several orders of magnitude.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. And please, Ella.
Actually, it's follow-up question for regarding Kelly's inquiry. So to build a system, for instance, when you compare to the let's say a Bell Foundry that really need a big cost to build a lab and also buying the equipment. So for that part, how is the cost comparison? That's first question. Second question is I'm still not quite clear about your technology. So you draw this like the tank and also the medium, therefore it get some purification and also get a massive production. So how is the mechanism?
I didn't get the first question, but I can answer immediately the second one. Maybe you can re-ask the first one. The second one is pretty easy. We have a selective precipitation tag that allows us purifying the fusion protein based on precipitation, but we can really selectively precipitate the fusion protein only, and by that wash away all impurities. And then we have a cleavage domain in the fusion protein that again is an active, it's a chemical cleavage domain, so that we activate just by adjusting buffer conditions. No enzymes are involved. It's not an enzyme-based cleavage domain. And then we have those two components in solution, and we can again selectively precipitate the purification tag and remain with a high purity product of interest in solution. Yes.
Yeah, so that explains about the purification, but what about the micelle production?
We don't have any micelle production. I don't know if
so for instance, when you compare to the fermentation, right? So you are focusing on the purification process, but what about the fermentation can produce also a big amount of protein, right?
Yes, but we don't reinvent the wheel on the expression side. We just couple our purification processes with conventional expression systems. When it comes to producing complex proteins, we team up with partner with expression specialists. So we do not reinvent the wheel on the expression side. We work only in the purification side and focus on that.
So what is your business model?
It's a license-based model. We see ourselves as technology providers, so that we provide the processes for others to license, because the markets that we're looking at include more than 100 billions actually, and that's far too much for a small team like ours to exploit. So we chose to become a technology provider so that we can focus on what we can do best, and manufacturing can be done by CMOs. We can't deal with regulatory, we can't deal with formulation, all of those things we're not experienced. So that's the business model that we chose.
Okay, thank you so much, Konstantinos, for your speech and for your answers. And we move to our next participant, startup number 4, Bex Rigel from Portugal. And please welcome Sebastian.
Thank you, Lydia. It's really wonderful to be here. I will share my screen. Hopefully you can see it now.
Yeah, we see.
Okay. So good morning. Did you know that only 20% of gut microbiota is culturable in the lab? What if I told you that we can culture almost 90% of the human gut microbiota, saving a fraction of the animals required and a fifth of the cost and time of drug development? Welcome to Bacterigel, a revolutionary technology for the microbiome market. Hi, I'm Sebastian, the CEO and co-founder of Bacterigel. Imbalances in the gut microbiota have been linked to 90% of the chronic diseases. Yet, pharma and biotech aren't able to culture 80% of gut microbiota, blocking development of antibiotics, probiotics, and live biotherapeutics. I present to you our patented Bacterigel technology, a new generation of substrates which model the microbiome environment in the human body, solving the obstacles that traditional methods face. Our feasibility study indicated that an ecstatic 87% of gut microbiota grew in our substrates. Just our products, the gut microbiota, and a common incubator, aiming to achieve seamless integration. We are targeting the microbiome market that is growing at a 31% compound annual growth rate, with most promising immediate applications being the recreation of gut microbiota and microbiome mining for the discovery of new therapeutics. Our clients are the pharma and biotech companies, as well as the contract research organizations that services this sector, working on biotherapeutics for the health and wellness sectors. Bacterigel was born from a collaboration of 3 Italian universities, having been incorporated in Portugal in mid-2020. Recently, we have been granted a healthy finance round from the European Commission for the last step of development of our products to make them fully market ready and ready for scale up in 2025. In the next 2 years, the aim is to work with our early adopters to demonstrate in their facilities the results that we have achieved in-house. Our financial projections indicate that we will break even in 2025 and have 29,000 units in sales, resulting in revenue of 5 million euros in 2026. That is estimated to grow to 30 million euros by 2028. We intend to refunnel these funds into our roadmap for the translation of a series of different products for B2B in the medium term, but also B2C in the long term. So the input we have been receiving from the market has shown that our several mucus models have a wide range of applications, even in sectors such as the in vitro fertilization all the way to agro-food technologies. For this, we count on a versatile and international team, as well as a global and diversified network of partners to achieve our goals. Bactigel, harness the full power of bacteria.
Thank you so much, Sebastian. And please, we already have a first question from Kelly.
Thank you, Lydia. Sebastian, how do you control the quality of the substrate in terms of the purity, sterility, and composition?
Yes, so we first make sure that in terms of material engineering it's always the same. So we use a high technology rheometer to evaluate the viscoelastic properties of it. And then for the sterility, we ensure it by putting it in the incubator, and if you don't see anything growing, and then in our microscope via qualitative and quantitative assays, then we are sure that it's sterile. So every batch passes this very tight mesh of quality control, and each batch has a 6 months shelf life. So we can do a big batch, and we do this quality assessments, and if it's okay, then we move on.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. And please, question from Halina.
Thank you so much for great presentations. The problem is definitely obvious. Can you elaborate a little bit more? What are your next steps on a roadmap from commercialization perspective?
Absolutely. Thank you for your question. So the problem is the inability to grow the microbiome in the lab, because what happens now, for example, in the antibiotic industry, it is that you start with a big library of candidate compounds that are proven to be very good at in vitro stage with current substrates. But then after you move to animal testing for safety, the phase 1 of clinical trials also safety. But then when you reach the phase 2 of clinical trials and you finally evaluate again the efficacy of these antibiotic candidates, you find out that most of the candidates that were positive on the in vitro stage are false positives. The amount of concentration needed to be efficient in curing the disease, it becomes higher than the safety concentration. And this is what we want to change. With our substrates, you can have a mucus model, the place where the infection spread in our body, at the in vitro stage, and really evaluates the real efficacy at the in vitro stage before you spend a lot of time and money progressing your potentially false positives candidates. And your second question, I'm sorry, I know that you asked something else.
I asked how you're planning to navigate the market. What's your sales strategy? How you're planning to go to market?
Yes, it's very interesting. The feedback that we've been collecting from the markets. We thought that first the early adopters would be mostly biotech, but we are finding that the CROs, contract research organizations, are the ones that are showing more interest. They are very keen to enter the microbiome market, and they are trying to find ways to culture microbiome in the lab. And so far, even though that we are in a very early stage, we are 2 years away from really entering the market. We've been contacted by CROs like Eurofins from the Denmark, the Danish branch, and others like BioAster in France, to really try our product and see if they can integrate it into their new application for microbiome services testing for pharma and biotech. So our aim is really to explore that route, since that's the organic pathway that we've been receiving from the markets, is really go with CROs. However, we have this EIC acceleration program that we will have to follow the next 2 years because we receive this financing. And we have these 6 early adopters that will test our materials and see if they get the same results that we are having. I'm sure they will. And then enter the market in 2025. Sorry for the long answer, but I believe it's important.
Thank you, Sebastian, and your timer up. Dear Ella, please use our Zoom chat for your questions. And because we need to move to our next participant, start number 5, Meta Brain Labs from the USA. And please welcome Alexandra here. Alexandria, you mute, please unmute yourself.
Hello.
We hear you. Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, and you see my presentation?
See.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandria Day, and I'm the founder and CEO of MetaBrain Labs. And what we do at MetaBrain Labs is we change mindsets. I come from 18 years as a therapist, 18 years in building software, and I've integrated my successful practice into an app and a platform. So what we have discovered in my 36 years of work is our mindset determines our life experience. It's grounded in cognitive behavioral therapy, where we know that our belief systems drive our behavior. I have applied neuroscience to collect brainwaves to guide the chatbot experience in that discovery, and learning theory, where we know that we need smaller bites of information that's delivered on a repeated basis to actually change our mindset. So what is a mindset? In sports, a mindset could be, I get too nervous when people watch me. That person will not be on the podium. At work, you think lacking a college degree takes away your opportunity to deliver to the group. That's a barrier. At home, no one wants me. Well, if no one wants you and you believe that, you probably will not be in a relationship for very long. So the bottom line is people can only rise to the level of their mindset. So we've developed an app. It's in the app stores. We actually have sales started. We just finished a golf pilot with astounding results in 2 weeks. Golfers putting better, probably 2 to 3 strokes better in a round. We use a vendor-supplied EEG-enabled headset. During the chatbot experience, we're collecting brainwave measurement while the user answers. We push it to our platform, analysis occurs, and then it drives the next question to engage the user. So, patent-pending, neurotech-infused chatbot guides the user experience. It's at scale, and it's to identify and reverse these mindsets that limit our lives. So we're going to market through the coaching industry, which is a $35 billion industry. It can be sports, life, golf coaches. Already signed up our first one yesterday because we just came out of the pilot. Health coaches. The industry is growing extremely fast. We are the first and only company that has reverse engineered how our minds are programmed and how to reprogram them fast. And we do have patents probably coming out this year because we filed fast track last year in a space that there's no competition. Chatbots are a big thing. Our chatbot guides the introspection that leads to mindset, unlearning, and relearning. MetaBrain Labs is infusing its platform with AI. I've built an AI ethics council and proud to say that I have the AI director for Kaiser Permanente on that council. And we are collecting massive amounts of data because that's what creates winners in the tech industry now. And my long-range goal and my real purpose in life is to take that data and map the personality to the genome so we can predict and prevent disease by changing mindsets. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome questions.
Thank you, Alexandra, and please welcome Kelly.
Thank you, Lydia. Alexandra, great presentation. So how do you measure the program's success in improving your clients self-confident and stress and reducing stress?
We just went through a pilot with 30 golfers, putting performance under pressure. So we had a scientific study and 30 golfers went through it. Before they putted, before the 2-week assessment and change process, they had certain scores, and then post they had other scores, and they improved on the 20-foot putt by 32% in 2 weeks, 18% on their 8-foot putts. And I can share that study with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Kelly. Please, Gabriel.
Thank you, Lydia. Hi, Alexandra. I wanted to ask you a little bit about if you can expand a little bit about the patent you have, your technology, how to reprogram the mindset, and also the chatbot. I have a doubt with the chatbot. Couldn't be that a little bit incomplete when assessing the person, because there might be too many layers that is not purely on the mind per se, on the brain, and the chatbot might be skipping, meaning the emotional or other factors that maybe the AI is limited there, or correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
Well, I was a therapist using this process for 18 years. So what I've done is taken myself out of the room. So I use the brainwave measurement when someone makes a claim that they believe this certain belief, and I can pick up stress in the brainwaves. So I can basically guide the conversation to direct someone to guess again till they get to that core belief. And then again, it's kind of hard to explain, but it is we've done hundreds of people that have gone through this, and the results are profound. People know when they hit their truth. They may think they believe something, and we are working in the unconscious level. Most of us know what we know, think we know ourselves, but truly the true self is kind of hidden from view.
Yeah, my doubt, and I think that's the fascinating thing, if you have it, is how the AI component is tapping into the unconscious to diagnose, or you with an analyst, as a psychologist, you guide it. I don't know.
I actually am using AI in a little different way. I want to use it to suggest to users as they go through the experience what their possible perception could be. So after millions of people that have gone through, say, a car accident, certain beliefs probably began, and you can crunch those numbers and predict what are the top 3 beliefs that probably came out of that.
Okay, thank you. Very interesting.
And then the patents are in the space of, identifying unknown beliefs in the unconscious, using biometrics to identify. We have a baseline when we start where someone claims a truth and they claim a lie. And then I'm basically bouncing against those on all their answers that follow.
Got it.
And I can provide
so much, Alexandra. I'm so sorry, but time's up. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Alexandra, for your speech and for your answers. And
thank you.
Please, dear all, welcome our next participant, startup number 6, Medicsen from Spain. And please welcome Eduardo.
Hello.
Hi, Eduardo.
Okay, sharing my screen now.
I see, yeah.
Brilliant. All right, so hello everyone. I am Eduardo Jorgensen and I'm a medical doctor and CEO at Medicsen, a company that has been awarded by companies like MIT, Sanofi, or Amgen, and where we have developed a needle-free smart patch for painless drug delivery, because needles are a big pain for patients and for the world. Because there are 16 billion needles as biohazardous environmental waste every year, costing 3 billion euros in accidental injuries in Europe alone. And they limit adherence. I met a girl with diabetes in my hospital consult who refused to keep injecting insulin 3 times per day, since it meant over 1,000 injections every year. So we invented a small piece of technology that creates safe ultrasound waves to enlarge the natural pores in the skin temporarily and push big drugs to go through. And we built it into a wearable smart patch completely free of needles that can work with multiple drugs like heparin, interferon, vaccines. It has a durable component with the electronics to last for 3 years. And all that patients need to do is inserting a recyclable cartridge that lasts for 3 days, placing the device on the body and activating it with the app or the buttons for a safe and painless delivery. which is better than current needle alternatives because jet injectors are bulky, microneedles are disconnected, and implants are not safe for drugs like insulin. So despite the fierce competition in a 25 billion euro market, these companies are failing to address the main user needs around comfort. Our ultrasound smart patch enables the needle-free delivery for large drugs, adding huge value because it is painless, wearable, and connected for telemonitoring. It is friendlier for the environment and sterile for caregiver safety, and adaptable to multiple drugs to ease the pharma's R&D process. Whoa, wow. Sorry. To ease the pharma's R&D process. So far, we raised 3 million euros. We have a granted patent extended to PCT in 8 territories and a working prototype validated with positive results on in vivo pig trials. All thanks, well, we all have also secured patient associations endorsing our value, pharma companies like Merck supporting us, and the CEO of the European Insulin Pharma Biotech signed a letter confirming their efforts to partner with us. We have a team with 16 professionals committed through stock options, including the founders who created previous medical devices that achieved sales, engineers coming from NASA and MIT, and a medical team that grew up in Philips and Roche, with also strong advisors as the CEO of Sandoz Spain. We envision a highly scalable B2B model by licensing the device for different drugs. We could license to Pfizer for antibodies, to Synthetica for heparin, and to Lilly or Biotech for insulin. And our benchmark shows that each license could easily reach 50,000 users in 5 years and bring around 100 million euros in that period. We're just completing miniaturizations with animal trial results, and we have obtained an EAC grant of 2.5 million euros to conduct human trials next year, which is half of the money that we will need to meet our goal of reaching the market for insulin in 2025. So we hope that you join our mission of releasing the world from 30 million injections by 2026 as the key step for a needle-free future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And please welcome Kelly Luo with her questions.
Thank you, Lydia. Eduardo, a great presentation. So is there any potential skin irritation due to the opening of the skin pores?
There is plenty of research on sonophoresis. In our own research, what we have been able is to identify the threshold that limits the safety for the skin and for the molecule. It depends basically on the total amount of energy that you transfer to the skin per unit of time. So with the selected ultrasound configuration that we have, it is not that you don't see any problem. The most that you can see is some erythema, but it's because the ultrasounds enlarge or increase the blood flow in the area. So it gets a little bit of a redness and then it disappears within minutes or hours after.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Please, Dr. Ella.
You didn't have time to really talk about the competitive advantage. So could you say, for instance, when you compare to, let's say, PharmaJet or other players in the market, how are you different? This first question. Second question is, you mentioned that you're conducting some animal study. How is this preliminary data like?
So regarding our competitors or competitive advantage, sonophoresis, delivering drugs with ultrasound, is the only technology that of all of them that are for drug delivery, is the only one that can perform a wearable, controllable, and standardizable delivery of large molecules without needles. Jet injectors are not wearable. Microneedles cannot be controlled. Iontophoresis devices cannot be standardized because they only work with the small molecules. But sonophoresis is the only one that can meet all those criteria. And additionally, it can offer a sustainable device because it allows for a durable component that can last for years. And the disposable component doesn't touch the inner fluids of the body. So it's virtually sterile and can be eventually upcycled. And if we compare it to smart drugs, implants, the path to market is much shorter and it imposes less risk on that. You cannot take an insulin implant out of your body or a smart pill and it can potentially kill you. So that's for the competitive advantage. And regarding sonophoresis itself, our competitive advantage is that it didn't reach the market because the devices are huge and we reduced it to 2.5 centimeters. So we enable a wearable device. Regarding the trials, what we know from the results is that we have 3 different groups to compare the glucose reduction between needles and ultrasounds. And what we see is that the ultrasound group that was, we have an ultrasound group that was safe and effective. We see glucose reduction, but we were not able to see the pharmacokinetics yet. So we're preparing a second trial for November.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And a quick question from Paul.
Yeah, so tell me more, what is your long-term goal? Is it to completely redefine how drugs are administered? So essentially doing away with the entire needle market?
Thank you for that question. So that would be lovely, right? But probably too ambitious. Needles are widely established. They have a huge market. They solve good problems. So it is unlikely that all of them will disappear from the world. But we want to take away as many as much as possible. And our target areas are high prevalence chronic treatments like insulin, heparin, interferon, those drugs that are needed mostly on a daily basis. Then also jumping into high growth biologics like Humira, some other antibodies or even nanobodies that are growing a lot. And then entering a specific niches where we can add a lot of value, like for example, releasing in patients with infectious diseases like HIV from needing needles, because those needle stick injuries are much worse than the other ones from just a diabetic patient, or dermatologic treatments where injecting a needle is really painful, or getting the needle out of vaccine treatments in Africa, vaccination campaigns, things like that, but very niche. So yeah, we cannot apply it to everything, but there are some areas with added value.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, Paul, but please continue your question in our Zoom chat. Eduardo, thank you so much for your answers and for your pitch deck. And now I want to move on to our next startup, number 7, Parrots Inc. from the USA. And please welcome David, who will be represented.
Hi, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Perfectly, see.
Sorry about that. Okay. Can you see my slides?
Yeah, all is good.
Okay.
You can start.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am David Hoja, founder and CEO of Parrots Inc. And our mission is empowering people with neurological challenges and healthcare providers. There are millions of people who suffer from neurological challenges, including famous figures like Stephen Hawking, Muhammad Ali, Michael Fox. They suffer from many issues like cognitive communications challenges, unmet medical needs, and expensive healthcare management for all these conditions like Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, dementia, and many other conditions. And the problem is not just for the patients. There is a bigger problem for healthcare providers. First, it's hard to manage multiple patients, and it's with limited resources and accessible platforms, and it's very expensive to manage even one patient. We're talking about over $300K per year per patient, and even it costs the nation. For example, in the US, it costs over $200 billion annually just because of patient care and loss of productivity. And that's why we built Poly, which is SaaS platform helping people with neurological disorder and healthcare providers first with real-time voice and assisted reality, cognitive assistant, and predictive telecare. And what we bring value to the people, for example, first is caregiving with smart remote patient monitoring and customized personalized care based on their conditions, predicting their personal and medical needs. And we're saving costs for healthcare providers. One use case is predicting medical or personal needs, and we have the machine learning algorithm is keep learning over time about their needs. And then we have the remote patient monitoring. It's active or automated remote patient monitoring. And the business model is B2B with subscription, $250 per month per patients for healthcare providers, as we're working right now to get our product covered by the insurance through the public and private. And also we have a pending VA partnership. And the total supermarket is about $80 billion, but realistically, we're targeting about $10 billion with our obtainable market, starting with beachhead market, Parkinson's, and multiple sclerosis. And we're a passionate team from different backgrounds and skills, from engineering, healthcare, neurotech, and age tech, and policy and management. And our users loved our system, and some of them said it's super damn cool. And we have been winning world competition and establishing partnership with organizations like Novartis and many others. And we're looking for investors for our seed round and healthcare providers to join our mission. And I hope you can join us in our mission to help all these people to be independent and free. And thank you so much.
Thank you, David, for being time. And please, it's time to our judges. Raise your hands if you have questions. Alexander, please. Alexander, please unmute yourself. You're muted. Thank you.
Have you raised any money already?
Yes, we raised our pre-seed round from angel investors, but right now we're raising our seed round, looking for very much early stage investors to join our pre-seed round as a convertible note.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, Kelly.
Thank you, Lydia. Hi, David. How do you address data bias and ensure the accuracy of the AI algorithms you used?
Yes, we do really intense tests with working with different patients from different background, different even different language, different locations worldwide. We have patients. We started in the US, starting from Boston, and then we moved to even the West Coast, and now we have some patients in Europe. So we're trying to be very diverse as we grow, especially try to avoid any bias or any ethical issues might face in our technical development, even in our business development and our go-to-market strategy.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
We still have 1 minute for another questions, please, dear judges. No one have. Okay, so dear David, thank you so much for your speech. Thank you, and see you soon. And at this time, we move to our next participant, startup number 8, Soap Health from the USA, and Steven, who will be represented. Steven, floor is yours.
15% of every medical encounter results in a diagnostic error. My brother, a physician, and a close friend, my wife's best friend, both died from diagnostic errors. Soap Health has sought and identified the reasons for these diagnostic errors is that overworked and time-constrained doctors don't spend enough time with patients. So we've built the world's first 100% conversational and generative AI-powered voice-based medical interviewer that has been demonstrated already in 3 pilots to improve the quality, the accuracy, and the detail of patient-reported data. In 100% of patients, more accurate data was collected in Alabama. In a study in predominantly Black and Hispanic patients, 44% more actionable data was collected. We then take that data and we run it through a risk engine built with the help of experts at Harvard and Stanford, with a patent pending on the first combined risk and symptom assessment product, because risk assessment has been shown to be the #1 factor in doctors misdiagnosing patients. We've also identified here in the US that doctors can get paid more by using our application because we identify more risk in patients than they can on their own. And then finally, we created the smart soap note. On the right-hand corner, you see a picture because doctors told us that when they read something that's pre-printed, they tend to scan it and miss important things. So we created a new way of delivering the data to them in a color-coded fashion. And we demonstrate that we can save them 2 hours a day and reduce intake and documentation time by 66%. We've published with Stanford, the Applied AI Research Group, and the study headline was 80% better care delivered by their doctors. And there's 2 studies that I told you in Alabama and Miami. The market, we estimate in the US alone at $6.7 billion at roughly $5,000 per doctor per year across 1.3 million, 5 million providers. And we have a competitor that right now is actually at 280 million that uses no AI, so it does an inferior delivery. And we believe that is an achievable ARR. The competition, again, Frisia and Notable, none of them have the more accurate intake, the conversational-based intake, the custom images, the risk assessment, the extensive differential diagnosis, and the higher level billing. We are the only product in the US that claims to increase physician revenue while allowing them to provide better care in less time. We have a patent on the use of a digital human as a medical interviewer, and we have a patent pending on combining a risk with symptom assessment. We also have trade secrets, and maybe most importantly, we have 100,000 proprietary NLU database that will recognize anything that comes out of a patient's mouth that a physician needs to know about and classify. We've partnered with Mayo Clinic, who's on our cap table, the University of Miami, UCSD, etc. We've raised now over $3 million, of which we still have a chunk of it left. We have an incredible team with 100 years of combined healthcare and technology experience. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Myself and Badar Sheikh, our CTO, have both had very successful exits. That's my presentation.
Thank you, Stephen, so much. And we have a question from Alexander. Alexander, unmute yourself, please.
Sorry. Thank you, Stephen. Can you tell us about your team more? Because just I cannot understand who are those people who are on this.
So I'm an MD, MBA, and MD from NYU, MBA from Harvard, Stanford Fellow. This is my 3rd startup. I retired many years ago. I started this startup because my brother passed away. I have 2 PhDs on the team. One is a PhD in AI. The other one is a PhD in communication, who's an expert on digital humans. We have a chief technology officer who has had a successful exit and has 20 plus years experience in the healthcare IT space. We have a chief engineer who reports to the CTO, who has managed engineering teams for 17 years. We have a chief product and customer success individual who has 10 plus years experience in healthcare settings. That's our leadership team. In addition, we have 16 more people in addition to the leadership team. So we have 22 people in entirety.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alexander. And please, question from Kirill Babic.
Hi. So first of all, it's a great pitch, even a greater team and a great product as well. My question is, do you plan to expand to other markets with this product, or are you only US focused?
No, we're in the UK already. We've been having extensive conversations with the NHS. In fact, today I spoke to 2 different GP groups. They are very excited. The main product in the UK is a product called eConsult, which costs more money than ours. And to enter answers, you have to type in your answers into boxes for every question. It's something from the 20th century, and people hate it. And so we've been told that we're a shoo-in to succeed in the UK. So we're pursuing the UK as we speak. We believe this is a global product. And since I founded it in memory of my brother, my goal is to make it affordable to everybody on the planet, because I just want to save lives in my brother's memory.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kirill. And so, dear judges, if anyone has questions, I guess our startup number 9 unfortunately has technical issues. So our Soap Health, it was our last but not the least startup. And now finally we have to finalize this wonderful bottle startup Exhale. So thank you so much. Everybody did a great job. And again, I will welcome our Anna.
Hi, Lydia. Yes, it was so fun to listen to. Very interesting. And sometimes at the Unicorn Battles, I know we have three formats, 3 minutes speech and 3 minutes Q&A, and I wished it was longer because so interesting. And to ponder about the subject. Dear startups, thank you very much. You were amazing. And remember, you are the winners. You were selected out of lots and lots of applicants. So you pitched and you did it. Dear judges, please vote for our startups. For our algorithm to work correctly and choose the winner, all startups have to be voted for. Please go to our event page and see that you moved this little dot where you want it to be. So every startup will be evaluated by you, and I will be closing votes in less than a minute, and then we'll go category by category, announcing how each category voted, and then the aggregated vote will be known. But before that, I will talk to our esteemed official judges. They will tell me who did they like the most, give feedback to the startups. It's really very valuable. And we will do it right now. Girls, can you vote at me? Wink me. Is everything fine? Can we be closing the votes? Because I cannot see what's going on there, but my girls can see that everybody's voting. I see the voting board and it's not closed yet. You see this little button, stop voting. I can push it and then all the votes will be counted by our software. Okay, so we are done. I'm switching on the music. The end of music means the end of voting. Please make sure that all startups have received your marks, dear judges. Here we go. Thank you. And I'm pushing the button stop voting. So no one say no more. Here it is. Okay. We closed the votes and ready to reveal. How did business angels vote? That's how business angels show their attitude towards the investment potential of our startups. Who is the most potential got 8. Okay, we are moving to the expert board. Expert board have their quite a different vision, and official judges. It's fun. Official judges support expert board number 1, but have their opinion towards the 2nd and the 3rd numbers. Okay, let's talk to our official judges. Let's start with Omar. Omar, are you still with us? How's your internet connection? Do you hear us? I guess not. Okay, let's go to John. John, are you awake? Are you with us? Please tell us, who did you vote for today? Oh, come on. Okay, let's go. Nurul, how are you doing? Do you hear us?
Yes, perfectly can hear all of you.
Wonderful. Who are your favorites today? Who did you give the 10 today?
So one was really very standout on the first minute because I also hate needles. So you understand which one. And there will be some potential competition from the big muscle, manufacturers. And also the trial results will be very important going forward. But I can clearly see this is a future unicorn if everything goes well. Thank you.
Thank you, Nurul, so much. Yes, I really believe in that. And Gabriel, do you hear us?
Yeah, perfect, Anna. Hi. Yeah, I would say Illumify was the one that I got really interested. Also, MK2 Biotech as well. I think for cancer is quite needed, no? More technology to develop, no? To prevent and also to cure, no? So I was quite intrigued by that, no? In a way, definitely. So let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Very interesting. And Kelly, what do you think? Who are your favorites today? What do you think about our startups?
First of all, I want to thank you, Alex, Lydia, for organizing another fantastic competition, and congratulations to all the amazing startups. I'm truly admired by your commitment to developing innovative solutions that make a meaningful difference in people's lives. So based on my own investment interests and resources, my two picks today are medicine. It offers a promising solution for non-invasive drug delivery. So Dr. Eduardo, I'm not very sure your marketing strategies in North America and Asia. So I'm interested in discussing further with you. And another pick for today is MetaBrain Labs. It might provide a unique approach to help individuals achieve healthy living and unlock our own fullest potential. So Alexandria, I'm interested in learning more about your strategies and technologies. So thank you again for all your hard work and all the best.
Thank you, Kelly, so much for the feedback. Dr. Ella Lee, we would love to hear your comments and see you.
Yeah, first of all, I'm quite impressed for all of our companies that are really able to present their story in the 3 minutes and also give us all the data, including all the important factor that is all included. So it's really a difficult decision. So my favorite one is medicine, the needleless syringe. It's based in Spain, right? So it's I'm curious to see also their marketing strategy in US, and also the market is there's more and more players come to the market. So competition wise, it's going to be quite challenging. I do have several second one, but I think Illumify can be also interesting one. That specify in the area that I think this is their biggest differentiator, and also to carry out this clinical trial later going to be also very costly. So fundraising is definitely also quite it's going to be the big step. Sonogen Medical, nobody mentioned that. I think there's going to be also a huge market over there. But again, right now, the difference between Sonogen and also Exogen, about a 30% better, whether it's really good enough to really differentiate them, that's just a little bit of concern. Yeah, so this is like overall, it's really, really good presentation. Very impressed.
Thank you, Ella, so much. Startups, I hope you noted everything and now know who to approach to. In any questions? And Alexander, can you sum up the official judge's decision? Do you agree with everyone?
Mostly, yes. Thank you very much for every startup who pitched today for us. So it's really important for us because we are looking for startups. It's our job to search for startups every day. And yeah, my 3 winners today was Medicine, MK2, and Soap Health.
Okay.
So let's discover who is the final winner.
Yes, I have a special button. Tells overall score. We will know it in a second. And Overall score is like this, and you can see that the winner today is ta-da! Congrats, Madison. Your moment of glory, please speak up.
Thank you very much. It was a surprise to be able to pitch here today, and it's even more surprise to win. It was a tough competition, a lot of great companies, but I'm super thrilled that the jury saw potential. And as you said, we have some challenges ahead with the competition and the marketing strategy. So it's super nice to count on support like this. So thank you very much.
Yes, and the journey just starting. First of all, you will pitch at the Unicorn Top World Finals, and you have to outperform all the winners of the previous battles, and you will have an opportunity to pitch in person Silicon Valley event where you will see some of those judges in person, and will have an opportunity to continue talking. And anyone would love to give any feedback, anything, you're more than welcome to do so.
Probably, and I would like to invite all our judges to come sometime to Silicon Valley, because we started to organize our in-person events again. So our events will be every month, and if you have time, just tell us. We'll be glad to see you on our events in Silicon Valley. And who is in Silicon Valley? You are already with us, so we just invite you next time. It's okay. And yes, the winner usually can participate in our Silicon Valley event for free, so you're welcome.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a great opportunity to make your connections even deeper with the VC community in the US. And dear judges, I am reminding you that next Thursday, we're having the last unicorn battle in the season. It's all about money. Fintech, crypto, blockchain, anything. I think cybersecurity goes there also, because money needs to be secured. And at the last Thursday of May will be already World Finals. So I am looking forward to seeing you all online next Thursday. Stay well. Thank you so much for coming. It was a great event. Startups, thank you. Judges, thank you. I'll see you all online.
Thank you, and as always, bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, and bye-bye. Thank you.